So this is Sunday Morning Live. We're going to try this new little concept here of Sunday Morning Live. I'm going to get on my phone here so I can read your comments of what's going on. So I just have to get to YouTube. YouTube. Now you know. So we will get to YouTube here. And I will go to my live thing and then I'll see the comments. Let's see, it's right here. It says, well, it had a live, I thought. Let's see, view channel. How do you like my shirt while we're looking? Oh, there it is, live. Oh, that's crazy pipe there. Of course, now I got to watch my own commercial. So I don't know how that affects you guys or not. But they're talking about something on here, so now I'll get off that. All right, now we are live. Live. I'm going to turn the volume down so I don't have to listen to the delay. It'll be a little delayed on my when you guys put a chat down, because here we are going to chat today. We're going to talk about 55s and Willys Jeeps, and you can see the Safari back there. It's got wax on it. It's kind of funny because it doesn't have any paint. So got my camera cover. So the reason we're doing it early in the morning here is it's not that early. It's 10 o'clock, 10:30 I think, 10:39. So the reason we have it at 10:39 is I have a lot of my people. I don't like to say viewers or customers or all the different things they refer to. You're my people. So my people that are part of the Jimmy James Garage community, or it's car guys, or our old school car guys. They're all over the world, and a lot of times they say, oh, it's midnight here in Germany, and it's Brazil, and it's India, and I don't want to leave anybody out because it's worldwide, because Jimmy James is worldwide. So there's a lot of car guys throughout the entire world. I am using this Old Elk bourbon bottle here for holding up my phone. It works pretty good that way. And Old Elk, and this is, if you watched the live yesterday, it was kind of a quick one. We had some technical difficulties, but this is called a single barrel, and it's I want to say Coach Ben Wade from Survivor fame was telling me, he's a friend of mine, and a good friend of mine, and it's a single barrel, and I think he said there was only 100-something bottles. It wasn't very many bottles. It was one barrel that they did, and he went back to the facility and had it named Dragon Slayer, because if you watch Survivor, he's known as the Dragon Slayer. So he had this really cool bottle, I don't know if this is all Old Elk looks like this or not, but he had this barrel, the single barrel, put into one of these. And it has a really cool, like, elk horn top here with, even smells good in the morning. But yeah, it says made in USA. It's pretty good stuff, but it works really good to drink, obviously, and to prop up my phone. Now you can't see it. Through the magic of Old Elk, you can't see my phone, and I can read. And it's almost teleprompter-ish. It needs to be a little bit higher, so it looks like when I'm reading it to you. Like, good morning, it's the evening news. And we're going to tell you why it's not good. We're not focused on that here. So if you put a comment on here and it's negative or anything, just know, if I don't get caught off guard, we're going to delete it and go by it, because we are a positive, moving forward, easygoing kind of channel here on YouTube. We're into hot rods of all kinds. We're into cars, trucks, Blazers. That's Coach's Blazer right there. We got the 55 over here. And if you have any questions, go ahead and add on to the chat, and we would love to hear what you got going, what you're doing this morning. Did you go to church this morning? Did you go to breakfast? You just get up and sit on the couch in your underwear? What'd you do? What'd you do this morning? So that's what we really want to hear. And the other reason we're on live is we want to hear what you're doing late in the evening in these other countries around the world. Sorry about that. I had to get a drink. I had to wet my whistle because I haven't had much this morning except coffee. So if you were in another country here, uh, I would love to hear it. I don't know what you guys think of my new vintage baseball style undershirts. They're kind of making a comeback. These were real popular when I was a kid. We wore them all the time. Of course, ours were different colors depending on what little league team we were on. Back in my day, um, most people play little league. Almost everybody played little league, and so we used to wear these undershirts because a lot of times we couldn't wear our uniform shirts because they were just given. They weren't given to us. They were somebody else's shirt from years prior, and you had to go. Let's talk about that. So when you're in little league, and you're going to remember this, it's going to hit home with you guys that are my age and above. Everybody played little league, or most people did. Most kids did, especially from a neighborhood, that kind of stuff. And we all had to go to our little team meeting before the team started, and kind of the rules. And basically, the kids went outside and ran around the backyard, and the parents argued with each other in the house. Is how it kind of worked. And then we would have to go buy our own undershirts. If I was going to be, let's say, the dreaded Yankees, I would have the black and the white, undershirt, and then I'd get some either a button-up or some hand-me-down uniform that these little leagues used to give, and they would say something really funky on it, and in the back it would say Bad News Bears would say Chico Bell Bonds, and they would re-sew those on each year, the little stripe, and they would put them right back on your shirt, and they only replaced what they needed, so you'd have miscolored, and it was funky, but it was cool. You got a uniform. It felt like, for that era, it didn't feel weird. It felt really normal to get and your shirt. And I remember I was on the Dodgers in majors. That's 12-year-old majors is kind of the pinnacle of little league. And I remember being on the Dodgers, and I had my Dodger hat on and my Dodger blue undershirt, and I'd wear my blue undershirt under it, to school and stuff. And I'd wear my hat, and everybody knew I was on the mighty Dodgers, and we were a good team. So it was kind of a pride thing. And so everybody should recognize these shirts, not only from Little League, but car guys used to wear them all the time. You'd see them at, back in the day, they would wear these style shirts. And what my logo is, that I spent good money on it. It wasn't too bad. I have a connection with somebody that cut me a good deal, but they designed it, which not real difficult to design. But this is after a gasser look. When you look on the old gassers, so this Jimmy James Garage, obviously with the slash, it'd be like JJ Gas. I know there is no JJ Gas, but that's the play on words or the play on logos type thing, because the old gassers, and they were this block letter style. I looked at probably before I come up with this idea, and then I designed it. Before I come up with this idea, I probably looked at, I don't know, hundreds of old gasser pictures, thousands, and try to get the exact thing. And I sent the girl that did my logo, I sent her all the stuff so she could put in a little PDF file and all that. And I sent her about 4 of them, and she said, that's the one, and sent it back, and it was done deal. So it's on my hat, the same exact logo, and it is to mimic gassers, to capture that vintage hot rod, good old times feel. I don't know if it was good old times then, but it sure is, looking back on it, becomes good old times, and we need to remember that. So I don't know if my phone's working on the chat stuff or not, because I haven't seen any chats. I haven't seen anybody on here. I'm not sure how this is actually going or how it's received. Obviously, I don't have something right here. Let's see if I do this. Yeah, so I'm sure my bride will walk out here in a minute and she'll tell me, yeah, why don't you go ahead and end that or keep going. But I need some chats is what I need, so I can answer a few questions on what's going on. Yeah, it just has my logos and stuff. Let's see if I can get to the chat portion of it. Well, that goes sideways. That's kind of cool. So you learn kind of stuff all the time. And I'm a car guy. Let's face it. Some of this is different to me, So, there's the live chat part. Let's see if somebody's chatting. So, welcome, learn more. Okay, I'm done with that. Learn more. I got that. On the privacy things, I can set a goal. Yeah, that's a cool goal. Let's go start a goal. Make your super chat more fun with a goal. Set the goal to engage with your audience in a new way. Once you reach your goal, celebrate with the community. Okay, so let's do this. Will we get a super chat? Okay, we'll just do one. And let's see, let's do the lowest one. Let's do all colors. There we go, all colors. And then we'll set a 30-minute timer. And then how to celebrate. I will take a shot of Dragon Slayer old. Oh, I already corrected old. It auto-corrected old on my phone. Old elk. All right, so there we go. We'll return that, and we're going to start the goal right now. It said an error happened. What the heck? What kind of an error could happen? All right, start the goal. I don't know. Seemed to not work. It says please try again later. I want a goal. All right, let's do it again. Super chat, all colors, 30 minutes. And let's say we'll start the goal. I keep saying there's an error. That's weird. That's weird. So I think you just got me. It doesn't look very good, does it? So I don't know. I got you already. So, but yeah, here's the old elk, and the cork is a little loose on it, which is kind of weird. I wonder if I should soak it and make it puff up a little bit. It does smell good though. 4 in here. Okay, so that's about what it shows. I was trying to do a goal and it won't let me set the goal for some reason. So let's just redo it. Let's do a super chat. Let's do a blue one. Let's change it to that. Let's do it 15 minutes. Okay. Well, let's do 30 minutes. Give it a half hour. We'll give it a half hour. And then I will take a shot of Old Elk Slayer, Dragon Slayer. Oh, I misspelled. Oh, I didn't misspell. I just didn't capitalize it. So I got to capitalize that. Now you know. I'll take a shot of Dragon Slayer, Old Elk. And let's do capital Old and capital Elk. Old Elk. And this is a bourbon, I believe. Let's see here. It's a wheated bourbon. Old Elk. Old Elk, let's see. Bourbon. Okay. And then we will hit return, and then we will hit your celebration shouldn't include anything of monetary value. Okay. No monetary value. I'm just going to take a shot here. So I think that's good. And it has an error again. I don't know what the error is about. So I guess you can't do a goal. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't make no sense to me. Maybe it's on my camera side of it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why it keeps showing the error. Let's try it over here. So I will be on the back side here for a second. And taking a look here. So top chat, live chat, super chat. And then learn more. So let's see. Let's see. All messages are visible. Let's go with that. Let's try that one for a minute. I don't know what that little thing is right there. So trying to figure it out here. Bear with me. Oh man, it's looking kind of ugly with the Jeep. Got to put the hood down. We gotta drop the hood. Well, it looks like it's ready to. There it goes. Now it looks like it's ready to rip and tear. So there we go. Now it looks so much better. Oh, I can watch myself do it. Isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely? All right. Well, I don't know why it doesn't let me do the goal on the super chat thing. Because it has it all here for me, but it just doesn't go. Kind of a bummer. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Let's do all colors. Start the goal. Let's take, let's put drink, maybe shot, maybe he's not doing. Let's change it. Let's change it around a little bit. See if some of this is kicking something up that we're not supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? So we'll work on that for a second here. It says get inspired. Okay. Here's some ideas. Got a stream every rhythm game. Okay, without the sound hosting. Okay. Let's see. I got inspired. Hey, the goal started. I got a goal. So I created a goal right there. So to prepare for the goal, I might need to clean my cup out. Oh, and I have a shop towel to clean my cup out. Huh? Is that cool or what? This is how we wash stuff in the Jimmy James. I don't think it likes shot for some reason. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. But let me take some really clean water here. And we'll rinse it out. We'll get prepared here because I know we're going to meet the goal. We're going to meet the goal. Everybody look down at the goal. Meet the goal so I take a shot of this stuff. And then look how fancy this is. I'm with my Jimmy James garage rags. So I'm washing it right now. Look at that, huh? So this is hardcore stuff right here. I feel like I'm back in my college days. Like, oh, there's no big chunks in that cup. I'm good. So, and then, oh, it's cleaning at it. Oh, it is so clean. It's like sanitary. I mean, you could probably do surgery with this thing now. It's so clean. It's unbelievable. You won't believe it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I mean, the chats from overseas are pouring in right now. Just so you know, I'm reading it all right here. And there's just so many super chats right now, or so many chats going on right now. They all want to know. So I was hoping they would chime in from overseas because I do enjoy that. And I know I catch them all kind of late. And I was hoping that the magic of YouTube and the algorithm would put it out there. But apparently that's not the case. Hopefully it'll come to light. So the only cup I have out here is this old this cold break. So I don't know if you can see it over there, but I have a cold break. Hey Rob, what's up? What's up? I got a chat. There we go. What is happening? So I don't know if you've heard, I don't know how long you've been on here, but I did a Sunday morning trying to catch people from overseas, because I do get these people from overseas all the time. And we'll see how it works. Yesterday I did a little live with Coach Ben Wade from Survivor fame, and it was a good one. It was pretty good. He was on there for about, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. And we just chatted and talked. It was a fun time to catch up with him since he's been back from the island. I did one of those goals here. I set a goal. We'll see how that works. And then, so since Rob's here, I got to send a bunch of hearts out. There we go. And then I got my new shirts on. I got one of them. I should be working on my Shopify. I'm failing miserably at that. So, now you know. Now you know. Now you know. So maybe I'll just sit here and maybe I will just smoke a pipe while I'm in my old baseball gasser type shirt, waiting for the super chat to take off. Let's see what we got here. It's getting old, sucks. It's hard to reach things. So I think I did for the thumbnail, I think I did a tobacco one. Light it up. So my bride seems to think that lighting it up is the path to success on my channel. And I need you guys to be interactive here. I need to know. And then Rob, while you're here, I do have questions for you. So tell me what you think. The Jeep behind me. So that's not going to be the next project. What happened was, I don't know if you know Mr. Henry or not, but he was employed at the same place you and I were employed for a while, for like long enough to, collect the check at the end of the check of the month club thing. And his son is going to bring his truck up here. In fact, we're going to bring it up here. We're taking the Blazer back, picking the truck up, and he has I want to say it's a 63. It's a knee knocker with the wraparound windshield Chevy truck. And I think they switched in 64 somewhere. I think 64 went to the more of a flat windshield. And it's the one with the wraparound. And it's a long bed Chevy truck, kind of a teal green, never been painted type thing. Really nice truck. But I'm not saying he's struggling, but he's trying to do, Chris does, I think, what a lot of us do. He does 10 things at once and 0 get done out of 10. And so it's hard to get things done. So he asked me if I would work on his son's truck and get it running, get it where he can drive it before school or right around the beginning of school. I told him I don't have a time frame. And he said, yeah, that would work. I don't want to be, retired and trying to do my Jimmy James garage stuff and then all the stuff that's lacking around the house. I don't want to be held down to, I have to have it done by Monday. So, he's good with that. Obviously wants the beginning of school and as close to it as possible. And I understand that. And I will do my best to do that. And it depends what it entails. It's hard to tell you, yeah, I'm going to have it done by, beginning of September. And I have to do, and I have to wait for parts. You know how it goes. So the Jeep now popped back one because the Jeep was going, and it may get a little bit next week because the Blazer is virtually done. I just have to clean it up for Ben, and I got one little breather I have to run, which is really weird. It's got this small little tiny hole in it, so I have to go to the auto parts store and maybe make an adapter out of something to make it, and maybe drill the air cleaner and put the breather there. No big deal. I can get that done fairly quick. But my thought is on the Jeep, I'm actually having a video come out about it. And since you're on live, I'll kind of do a little spoiler. We're going to ask what's your 2 cents worth on the Jeep, on the build, the direction we're going to go. I'm big nostalgia. I remember all the dents and the dings in that thing, and I remember how it was. Do I turn it exactly how it was, even down to the Goodyear tires? Do I leave that big old giant bumper on the front? Do I leave the Cadillac seat and try to adjust so I can fit my legs on the pedals and that kind of stuff? So I'm going to get that video going here today, probably release it tomorrow. And yeah, let me know what you think. It was kind of a cool way to go. What your opinion is, because you know how much I do evaluate. You have great ideas, and so kind of give me a thought on it. And this one's called PS31. What is PS31? I don't know what PS31 is, but we're going to find out what PS31 is as we get this little... Oh, and I don't know if I showed you this, but Ryder, my son, this is pretty cool. He got this from my buddy Jerry Dean Foster, which Rob, Tori, you know him. He had these little poop emojis, and they got a better manure spreader underneath them. And he's hit them all over my shop. The kids took some of them home, but I think I found the last 3 of them. So we got poop emojis. That's what I should have done for the live picture. I should have just taken a picture of the poop emoji. I'll have to remember that. That's a good one. So I'm going to give myself some hearts for the poop emoji and some smiles. All right. Well, let's see if we light it up. This is called the Savinelli pipe. It's the Bing special. We went to this tobacco place in Lewiston called Big Smoke, and that's the PS31. I don't know what PS31 is, but Hunter, my son, bought that for me. So we'll take a crack at it. I don't know where my tamper went. That ain't good. Where'd it go? I know I took it with me when we went, and which bag is it in? Got to be here somewhere, right? Maybe, hopefully. Hopefully in one of these I'll go, oh, there's my tamper. So, no tamping. Huh. Well, it's lost at sea. But I do have a backup. And we'll have to use the backup. So there's the backup. The shell. The casing. Oh, I found the tamper. It's in the tobacco. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right, we're back in business. It's not spilling it because it's expensive. Well, you know what tires I had put? I sent you a picture of them. Yeah, paddles. That is one thing I'm not going to put on is paddles. Even though I do agree with you, I get it. I am good with the suggestion. I just don't know that paddles will work really well in Idaho. I could do the tires and then buy paddles for it. So when I go down to the sand, I could switch them over. Now that's an option, especially since the Oregon coast is not that far and I got great big sand dunes there. That'd be kind of fun. But my memories of my day, I can't read that thing. Memories of my day. So I say you stick with nostalgic look with a sprinkling of Jimmy James spice. Okay, that's good advice. I like that. What do you think about that front bumper? And that do I clean it all up and then just paint it silver like it was? Because that's how they did them back then. They painted them silver. Nowadays we paint them black or white. But what do you think of that? Well, there we go. We're lit. And then I tamp it out. All right. There we go. We are lit. Lit, lit. So this is a nice relaxing pipe. And, I should have done. I should have lit the pipe that was on my little thumbnail. I think that would be better. Let's do that. I'm going to let that one just kind of burn down, and I don't know what I'll do with it, but I'll reload it. I got enough tobacco here. Let's do a different flavor. Let's do what's this one? I thought I had a vanilla in here. Let's give it a vanilla. If I can find the vanilla. Milli Vanilli. That's cherry, no. That's black cherry, no. That's cherry, no. That's Jubilee, so it must be cherry. This doesn't have anything on it. This must be a vanilla. So we'll have to figure out what this one is. So a lot of these I don't have them marked when we got them because I was, so new at this. They put it in, I thought I'd remember, and of course you don't remember. So it looks identical to the other one. So I'm thinking it's the same one, the same mix. So let's get that all lit up here. And this is kind of a cool little pipe. Let's try it. It'll be a kind of a fun one. Oh. So there we go. Got the little ZZ Top pipe going. Who doesn't like ZZ Top? Okay, so here we go. Personally, I would ditch the winch and maybe use existing material to stick up the look of the number, but still have a touch of what is now. I am all for painting it white. Yeah, I get all that. So that's what I've been stuck on the fence with. I could really trim it up a lot. Maybe that top bar that goes over it, if you can see the top bar. And then I do like the tow bar. I think the tow bar kind of does it well. And kind of a mix of it. Yeah, numbers of with the Parkinson's medicine. No, I get it. I probably should have read it how you act because as I was reading, I know what you meant. So, yeah, maybe I'll just do a real simple, piece of channel like they used to do. Maybe go with the Warren stand-up winch. The old Warren style stand-ups. They're fairly inexpensive and they look good and really kind of fits the era and motif. And then maybe I'll cut that bar down and use the original bar over it. I think that might look pretty good that way. The Jeep is red with black pinstripes, so maybe they just paint that all black and then leave the wheels white. Give it a little contrast. I'm not a black wheel fan. I don't like black wheels. And that would still give it the same look. And if I use those original lights, what the original light says, yep, heck yeah. Yeah, if I use the original lights and use that bar on top, even if I have to cut it and have Ryder re-weld it and grind it and make it look, original, it's still the original material. And it has that same kind of look to it. Yeah, that's spice. And Rob says that's a spice that I'm talking about. Yeah, I think I might really consider going that way because that old winch, I'm not sure how good that thing actually works. Um, you know, honestly, I don't ever remember using the winch. So if you'd asked me before, because I hadn't seen the Jeep in years, probably been 5 years since I'd seen it. If you'd have said, "Hey, does that Jeep have a winch on it?" I'd have went, "I don't remember." As a kid driving it and using it, we didn't use the winch. I mean, that winch was never used. Now that I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was there. But it's just kind of funny how you just forget things, over the years. And that was one of them. I could have told you about the rear bumper and the seat, no doubt there. But that would probably be a neat little project to kind of bring into more of a modern era, yet still give that nostalgic feel. I like that. I like that a lot. And I don't know if you've seen, but I did get the new gun, the new butt stocks for the guns, or for the hood. Excuse me, not guns. For the hood bumpers, and they actually say Remington on them, and they're made by Remingtons, and they're 870 pump is what they were, and they say Remington on the back of the stock, which is my middle grandchild's name, which is kind of cool. The other two are probably like, wait a minute, why don't they say Annalise or Ridge? But they didn't make those kind of shotguns, so. But yeah, this pipe would be kind of long if if it was straight. I do notice it goes out quick. That's for sure. And then that's kind of what we got going here. Rob, how was your weekend and what did you do? And then Tori, well, how was your weekend and what did you do? Kind of what I have planned today is I have to get this live done and I got to start working on the computer stuff a little bit. We are going to go up the hill here and pick up some of our hay. Hay. And I'm not looking forward to that. I even brought a different shirt so I don't get this shirt dirtier than it. No, it's not dirty. No spots. Oh, I promised my bride I would try to keep this shirt as almost as clean as possible. So, let's see. I got to catch up on your live video. We had a medical issue come up with my father-in-law. All is good now. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear it's good. That's medical issues are always scary, and it's kind of, and they stink. You know, there's no way to answer that. But the best part, it's all good. That's a good deal. So I'll take a puff to that. That needs some hearts. That's some hearts, and he's all good. That's exactly what we want to hear. It's all good. And I did sell that donor truck on this Friday night. I sold it. Friday night or Saturday? Oh, Saturday night. Saturday was it last night? No, it's Friday night. Friday night I sold it. And he's the same guy I bought it from. He blew up his tranny in his truck. He calls Frank. Name's Chad, and he has Fat Guy Racing. You've seen him on here. He messaged me and said, "Hey, what are you going to do with that truck?" I says, "I'm going to pull the motor and put the tranny in the car, but I'm not going to do it for a year probably." And he's like, "Want to sell it? Come up with the price." And so I came up with the price. He says, "That's perfect price. I'll be up there tonight to get it." So he showed up, and we did a video. In fact, that's the video I'm going to post here in a little bit. And yeah, yep, it was a good. I think it's going to be a great video. He's got it back going on his. He needed the transmission. Of course, he's got the 6.0 for another project he's working on. And he has a guy that wanted the cab. So it's going to work out just fine with him. And yeah, so it's gone. I have the 5.3 and the other tranny here that may just go for the Safari back there. That may be what goes in that. Or it may go in the 52. I haven't really decided yet. I'm really on the fence. Not on the fence. I'm really considering selling that 52 because I just have so many projects. And that was supposed to be live on the channel to do the projects, but the projects just keep coming. And I really want to get the Jeep project done. So the 52 might go somewhere else because I still have the drink truck. That drink truck has to be done by October, which I will get on it here in the next, maybe this week I will get it. So let's see here. We didn't do much. It's been triple digits here. And when it's hot, my tremors look like I'm on meth. Really, wow, I just never have known about that disease at all. You hear about it, you see people with it occasionally, but you just don't know that, heat and that kind of stuff affects it. Today here, I think we might hit 80. It is actually a hair warm in the shop here, sitting here. It's not unbearable by no means, but it's a little warm. Sun's shining. There's no breeze out here, which we usually have some sort of a breeze, but no breeze at all. And for us to get anywhere in the 80s, we're getting warm here. Lewiston will probably be close to 100. I know yesterday Redding was 109, but that's pretty typical for Redding. It gets hot there. But nice blue sunshine, no smoke in the air. It has a hair bit of haze, but that's to be expected when it gets warm out. And, farmers are burning stuff and cutting hay and, just stirring the dust up a little bit. But I can still see the mountain range clear as a bell. It's just not that real crystal, brisk color of the mountain. The sky's crisp and blue, though. It's a nice day out here, no doubt. We get a lot of these nice days. It's interesting living in this kind of a state. You'll get hot days, you'll get cold days, you'll get rain days, and that's just summertime. So you get a variety of stuff here. It's really, really interesting because California, you can kind of predict what it's going to be like. It's all year long. It's just kind of the same. And, the winter, you got more rain, you got more cold. And spring and fall, kind of got the mix. And in the summer, you get hot, It's pretty typical. It does vary, you'll have nice days in the 90s and then it'll be, over 100 and back down to the low 90s, that kind of stuff. Here, yeah, sure, it's going to be somewhere in the 80s today, but tomorrow it could be 65 and the wind could be blowing. And then it could jump up to 80 again and then halfway through the day, thunder clouds rolling and cool it down to the 70s, and you have a bunch of rain. Just interesting. It's really fun, actually, to be honest with you. It's really cool to do. But yeah, this pipe is definitely goes out quick. I'm surprised we don't have anybody from out of the area, out of the country. That's what I was really hoping for. I'm glad, obviously, Rob, that you're here. I always appreciate your help and your comments and friendship and all that, as you well know. And hopefully somebody else, pops in with a chat and we get some more stuff here. So, but I don't know that I like this pipe, to be honest with you. It kind of drags weird. It almost feels a little stuck. It'd be another way to put it. We're about ready to have no. He decided to go somewhere else. We were having a chicken right here. He was debating about coming in and crapping in the shop again. So, and then Rob says hi, Tori. We did go for Bar 46. I don't know what you would call the head mom in charge. What they call the matron, or I don't know what the word is for it, but she's the leader of the pack up there. It was her birthday, and so we went to a place called Bear Hollow, and we spent the night. We got there and we went to the bar, and then we had to go from the bar. We went out to the Bear Hollow, and we had hors d'oeuvres and their own personal wine that they grow there at their bed and breakfast. And then we had great conversation all evening and just kind of BS a little bit. The girls kind of walked the grounds, and Jim and I sat there on the porch with Billy and visited and, learned about each other's careers. And Billy's a very interesting man. He is, if you guys are on here and, want some interesting stuff, look up Bear Hollow. It's a really neat bed and breakfast. And Bonnie there that runs it is top notch. She caters to your every need. It's really, really special. It's cool. So this is our second time staying there. She doesn't even have a 4.9 on her thing. She's had all fives. That's how well attentive they are to their stuff. And or maybe they have a 4. I don't know. But their ratings are so good that it's just unbelievable. And that she cooks these. She's Filipino, and she cooks these amazing Filipino dishes. Or you can get whatever you want. As long as you let her know. And then breakfast was. We had edible flowers. I did not eat it because I thought it might make me a little sugar in the tank if I ate an edible flower. But tobacco's kind of an edible flower, but it's more of a man's edible flower. Can I say that? Are we still politically correct now, or can I go past that? But I think I'm going to go past it. I've never really been too politically correct, so I've only been to HR a handful of times, so I feel pretty good about that. And Jimmy James Garage has no HR. No HR. Our HR department, it just says HR, and then underneath it says F off. So that's the kind of HR we have around here. That's what I need to do is make a sign that says HR department, F off. Sugar in the tank. You've heard that saying before, I'm sure. You've been on a yard and heard that saying. And homeboy might have a little sugar in his tank. I guess it could be considered a car term, right? Putting sugar in the tank. Do they still do that? Because people I don't know if we have anybody young on here listening, but that's the way they used to mess up people's cars. They put sugar in the tank, turns into sludge, and destroys the fuel lines and the carburetors and all the stuff. So don't do it. We're having chicken attacks out here. They're running around doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Chickens are kind of fun to watch and how they behave and where they go and what they do. And they're definitely got some personalities to them. And I'll be honest with you, ZZ Top pipe, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it at all. It's really weird um, now that I've got a couple months under my belt of smoking a pipe on how this thing, it smokes weird. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like a cheap straw. It, it just doesn't have a match the way it's kind of almost chugs as it goes. It's really strange. And I was in that tobacco place there in Spokane, and I told him, hey, when I went to this 7 pipe, I noticed that it's in a whole new league of itself. It's kind of smooth as it pulls through. It's it almost envelops as it comes in, and it kind of grows as you sip on it. Well, this is clunky, and I didn't tell him about because I hadn't smoked this but one time before, and that was when I first got it and didn't know any different. But I was just telling him over something like, let's say this, which is a $50 pipe. This one does, well, I thought it was fine. But this, compared to this, is night and day. And he was shocked. He goes, hey, you're a new pipe smoker, and you can tell the difference like that? And you described it like, and I go, I pay attention a lot of times when I do this stuff. And I'm trying to learn, so I'm really focused on it, and that's probably why. So that pipe needs a port and polish. Exactly. That's it. It does need a, and I guess that's why I notice it because I'm so into flow and things of that nature, and it's almost a struggle. It doesn't feel like it's yeah, like it's just not smooth. It's kind of like smooth off, and it's kind of as you pull the the smoke in, and then it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's growing in your mouth. It's like, oh, that could sound bad. So somebody should take that as a sound bite. It's growing in his mouth. But then it doesn't feel like it envelops or like it finishes. It just feels like it's kind of like rattling around. It's really, yeah, it's not good, but it looks cool. And I'm learning. One thing I am learning that the expensive pipes are way better, which is not good for the pocketbook. Because it'd be nice to have a cheap pipe that was that much better. And then, actually, this one here, this one smokes really, really, really well. This is right up there with the 7 Definitely is yeah, it's horsepower restriction. Exactly. This one here is a good smoking pipe. Even, when you drag on it dry, you know, it just comes in right. Just smooth feeling. And that was the first one I personally really bought, was this one. And he suggested it. Old Vance did down there at Big Smoke. And to this day, it's a good one. It's right up there with it. So I'm going to put it right here at the Hall of Fame. It's got to be on the Hall of Fame. I had the red one on there because it had some color, but it's definitely a better setup. Yeah, I'm not digging it. And so that will have to be returned later because I'm not going to finish it. And that's good to know as I go. And that's the kind of the hard part. If you end up buying another pipe, you don't necessarily know until you buy it, of which one's better. Oh yeah. Oh, this is good. It just kind of goes in. It's like it's night and day. It is night and day. The side by side comparison is it's almost you need almost no work to bring it in. It just kind of falls in. It's like whoop, so smooth. I could see where you could oversmoke this though, because it is so smooth and by big drags of it. But wow. So Old Elk. So it's very good. It was shocking actually, shockingly good. It and that's what I put on my little chat thing that I would take a shot of it. And so yesterday we had a drink of it. Me and old Coach Ben Wade. He had one. I had one, and this is actually his. So he went to the distillery, and I think it's in Kentucky. It could be Tennessee, but I'm not sure where Old Elk is from. It would probably say here. Oh, according to the Surgeon General, women shouldn't drink alcohol beverages during pregnancy. Good thing I'm not pregnant. I kind of look like I might be pregnant, but no, I'm not. And does that mean I can compete in women's sport? Oh, I don't want to go down that road. Okay, because of the risk of birth defects, consuming alcohol beverages impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery and may cause health problems. So if you're operating a car and you're drunk, it may cause a health problem. Yeah, like smashing your face into the airbag. Um, what a bunch of crap. Distilled in Indiana. Indiana. That to me is shocking. So I did not know that. So Old Oak is out of Indiana, and this is called Dragon Slayer Single Barrel. This is the single barrel wheated bourbon, and so he tastes. So what he did was he has a video on his channel, and what Coach did was he went with a couple of his buddies, and they went to um, apparently Indiana. I did not know that. So they went there and they tested a bunch of barrels, and there's a video of him doing it and then tasting them all and come up with what they liked and how they wanted it. And I don't know exactly how it transpired, but it's got Dragon Slayer single barrel on it right here, and it has the limited number on there. Um, it comes from barrel number 3957, Old Elk Distillery. It's a Series 2023. It's aged 7 years, and it is mash bill. So let's see, get some light on this thing. 52% corn, 46% wheat, 3% matted barley, and it's a single barrel. So his name is on it. They only made so many bottles of this, and he said it yesterday. I think he said like 100 bottles of it or something. I don't remember the exact number, but it was really low number. I got one. As soon as it come out, I went and picked one up, and I did it. I bought it at Rayleigh's in South Reno. That's what they were carrying it, and Coach set that up. Also, certain places could get it, and so he says, "Hey, my bourbon's in South Reno at the Elks go or at South Reno at Rayleigh's. Go get the Old Elk." And so that's what I did. The cork is a little loose on it. I'm not sure why, but it's definitely loose. But yeah, no, it's really good stuff. Really good. In fact, if the super chat gets met, then I will take a shot of it. Oh, we didn't make that one. Start another goal. So let's do another one. We'll go 30 minutes and start the goal. There we go. Oh, that's what it is. So, and I just put it here because it worked good for my phone, so I could do the camera up there, so everything's the right way, and then I can lean this here, and it's like hidden, like a hidden treasure right there. And then for my hidden treasure, I get some hearts and some smiles, and yeah, what are they doing? He's lighting up. I don't know if you can hear that, but they jumped on the air compressor and it's squawking on the air compressor. standing on the rail of the air compressor like a big dum-dum. It's in front of the Jeep, so you really can't see it, but they're making a racket. The chickens are. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable what they're doing. So, yeah, well, that's what we got going here. Yeah, look at that. Light's just like, and it just pulls. We gotta watch out, don't blow back through it. But it's just so light. What a difference. What a difference. Yeah, really, really nice. These nice pipes. Wow. If you're ever going to smoke a pipe, I suggest buying a good one because it is a game changer. It is really, really smooth. Oh, the chicken's down. It's down there behind the Jeep now. Who knows what it's doing? Yeah, there you go. It's flying right there. I just see it. So that's the delay on mine. Because my phone's delayed, even though I'm on the same Wi-Fi. I have Wi-Fi in the shop now. The camera's over there filming, and I'm right here. And I don't know. It is still probably 30 seconds to a minute behind. I don't know why it's behind, but it is. But that's what we got going. So now you know. Now we all know. Yeah, this is smoking this pipe here in this nice little warm garage, but not too hot. You know, I had a good night's sleep last night. Makes me want to take a nap. Chairs are metal and they're a little uncomfortable for nap time, but it would be interesting. So, yeah, back to the old elk. I think it's neat that he was able to do that. You know, he's a big bourbon guy, and Coach has a epic bourbon. I think is what it's called. Epic bourbon on YouTube, and he has quite a few videos on there and quite a big following. He was telling me he doesn't get quite the watch hours he likes because you know they look see what he's drinking and then they kind of go off. It's kind of hard to talk about bourbon. You know, with the cars, I got lots of things to talk about with the cars. You know, like just sitting here on this live, Rob and I come up with a plan on the front bumper. I think that's a great idea. And I think having that top bar is, and those lights are the game changers um, with that tow bar, and then trim that front bumper up and put a more modern winch in there. I think it would really suit a purpose. It would still keep the nostalgia. It still has the feel of what it was, yet it's just kind of a little more modernized. Oh, that's a good idea. So I'm glad we did the live. Now I have kind of a direction. And hopefully it doesn't change 4 times between then. And I know, Rob, you really want me to put paddle tires on it. I can't see myself driving through a Cottonwood with paddles on it. But it does give me the idea maybe I should do the Goodyears because that's what's been on it. I don't know what was on it when I was a kid. You know, there's been a couple sets of tires on it over the years. But I think Bob always had an all-terrain on there. I don't think he ever had a mud tire. But back then, the mud tires were more of a tractor-looking tire. They didn't have those, you know, lugs with the cuts on the end of them for the noise and all that. They were real mud tires, had big, long, and he might have had them on there at one point. I know he had the steel wheels at one point on there, but yep, needs paddle tires. As Rob said, that's pretty good. Yeah, paddle tires. Take and put a big camshaft in that 5.3. Put a turbo on it with the right cam in there, and let it rip potato chip. It would be fun. It would need to finish the cage if I did that. But watch out. That thing would go pretty good with, 750 horse turbocharged 5.3 in it. And honestly, wouldn't cost very much. Those turbos are very inexpensive on it. It's got plenty of room up in front to put the intercooler. Don't put a winch on it, just put an intercooler right there and put the bumper around it to kind of protect it. See, where's your winch? That's its intercooler. I just get out with 750 horsepower. Who needs a cable when you have 750 horsepower? And I'd probably put a rope winch, now thinking of it. Because if I do use the winch, to skin deer or anything like that, the rope works a lot better. I have a cable winch on my side by side. It's a pain in the butt. It always is poking your hands when you grab the cable, and Oh yeah, that's kind of where we're at with all this. Stop teasing me. uh, but it would be cool, wouldn't it? Be really cool. And the 5.3 sitting there. I don't know how durable these. And I don't know what transmission's in it or what overdrive's in there. All I heard it was a 2-speed overdrive, which I don't know what that means. Is it like the old gear vendor 2-speed overdrives or what exactly that is? But I mean, it's been in there since the early '60s, so I will probably find out when I start crawling in it. I haven't even been under it. I did pump the clutch pedal, and I see I got a puddle of fluid in there underneath on the ground. There's a big spot on the ground now, so it obviously has a spot there. Yeah, it would be awesome. It would be. Yeah, it would be awesome. Yeah, and that's the other question I have on the wheels. Do I pull the wheels off when I rip the tires off it? Do I pull the wheels off it and then sand them, clean them all up, and then repaint them just white, or do I leave them just as vintage as they were and just put a good scrubbing to them and a good polish on them, but leave any of the little rusty patina spots and all that? And it's not rust; it's surface rust type stuff. Because I do like that red and blue stripe around it. It was always there as a kid, and I remember that. I always thought that was really cool, and I hate to lose that. And I looked at it yesterday. I don't think I could tape it off. It would look funny. I mean, I guess I could get somebody to pinstripe it again. I don't know if that's even. I mean, they'd probably charge an arm and a leg, and I don't know that it'd look right. So we haven't got anybody from a foreign country. I thought for sure we'd get foreign country. Rob says, just clean and polish the wheels. I think that's probably the direction I am leaning. For sure. I mean, that's probably the best. It does give it that, the vintage that I'm trying to capture. And maybe I get a set of aluminum wheels with the paddles on it. So when I hit the sand dunes, I don't even know gears are in this thing either. My dad told me it's got front and rear lockers, and I remember that as a kid it had front and rear lockers. I didn't know really what it was back then. But when I pull the covers off, I'll have a better understanding of what lockers in there and what gear, and I'll know what gears are in there. So, because it does need a complete fluid change, obviously. And that's the kind of money I don't like spending. When you're buying gear oil and it's so expensive anymore, even engine oil. I used to never mind changing the engine oil because it was just cheap. Okay, you go spend $25 and it's done, $20. I mean, hell, at one time you could change your oil and everything for like under $10. I mean, your oil was like $1 a quart, and you had a couple dollar filter, 5, 6. Yeah, you're around $10. It was all done. Now you got to go get got to go to Citibank and get a freaking loan or cash in a CD to change the oil. I think that 2050 Valvoline high zinc was like $40 for 5 quarts. And then you're $10+ for an AC Delco filter, or the Wix filter, something that's Can-N, something's fairly good filter. All of a sudden now you're into it. $50 change the oil, and it's actually probably more like $60. And that's my cost without a lift. I don't need a lift for the Jeep. Just lay underneath on a creeper. I did have to give a shout out to Bob, my neighbor. He gave me one of the coolest creepers ever. It's one of them Jeeper creepers. He picked up somewhere and he had it on his wall, and he just thought it really fit my motif. And he gave it to me last week, and I'm going to put it on the wall. I have it sitting right there. But what I'm going to do is, as I build this, I'm trying to work towards a little studio here when I do these lives or do any kind of sitting and talking videos, that the Jeep is behind me, but on that wall is all the memorabilia. I have it over here now. I'm going to kind of move it over and have it so it's in the background. That's why I pulled the car up a little bit in the Jeep, and just so it brings interest into people that are watching. They catches their eye, and then we hopefully inspire some chats. But I see Sunday morning at 11:45 in the morning is not the time to do a live video. It's weird because my live videos were just killing it until the last couple of videos. I had one that went 11,000 people on it, multiple countries and things of that nature. I think it's going to have to be during the week in the evenings in the summertime. I think that's when I'm going to catch people live and we can have some interaction. Most people are out and about by 11:45 or heading home or something like that. But like I said, it's just not doesn't do very well. I mean, we're down to 3, so it looks like Tori, Rob, and me. Oh boy. Oh well. This YouTube is definitely different. Hey Rob, if you're wanting to see something cool, so here's what happened. There's a good subject. So Bar 46 Farms, they have a really neat setup, and they are pretty proud of what they do, and they do things a little different than everybody. And they sell dog treats and they sell dog chews with one ingredient: heart, lung, liver, trachea, spleen, whatever. And then the chews are not rawhide, but they're beef hides. They're not kangaroo, they're not horse, they don't have glues, they're not laminated, they're not thrown in chemicals and peeled all the hair off and all that. They're trimmed, they trim the hair off, but they leave a little hair on them because of the flossing. The only chemical they have is water, because they're completely washed with water, power washed, and just all the bad stuff and then they're rolled with the hair on the inside, which helps the digestive tract of the dog and also cleans his teeth. In fact, our dogs chew them, and our dog had a little vet visit last week, and everything's fine with her. But she opens up her mouth and looks and says, oh, she kind of pulled her head back. Oh, wow. For 7, she looks good. Her teeth are great for her age. Wow. I mean, she was like impressed, shocked. She had that surprise. Oh, wow. I mean, I watched her do it. Tori watched her do it. And of course, Tori went right into the sales mode of, hey, Bar 46, they sell the dog chews. She's exclusively on that. That's what she chews on. That's what gives her, breaks some of her energy down and cleans her teeth and her digestive system, her anal glands. And, she rattled it off, and the lady went, oh, okay. Like, she didn't care. But it was funny. We laughed. But the point is, it works, and it works well. Okay, that being said, they've been struggling on their social media, and they know now that I've been monetized and actually got a check coming, and they know I'm doing what I do, and they really like what Tori puts down. They like her TikToks. They like all her stuff. they like everything she kind of navigates. And so they hit her up last month and they said, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's been about a month. They hit her up and says, hey, we want you to do our YouTube and our TikTok and our social media stuff in combination with us. We'll give you the videos and tell us ideas of what you want on videos. And so she came up with one idea and it did really well. I forget how many thousands it had, but it had lots. It had, I want to say it was like 30, 40, 50,000, 75,000, something like that. Tori can correct me, but it was way up there. So she felt kind of like, okay, like I got this. I really can. She never done it for a business. She just, you know, does it with her donkeys and her chickens and her stuff. And just for, total entertainment pleasure. And they liked it. Jim and them and Jackie loved it. They were like, this is really good. She did a couple other ones that hit pretty well. She just did a video that they had run before on another platform, and it did okay. It was pretty good. She put some different music to it, a little different title, and published it, and it was, I don't think it's a 2 million yet, but it's really close. It's like, I think last she told me I walked out was like 1,600,000 views, like 30,000 likes, 300-400 comments. It's unbelievable. It's total viral video, 100%. It is blown up. If you look at, I was looking at the analytics yesterday, and it was like this kind of flat, and then it went like that. It's still going straight up. It's unbelievable. It's had a 3-day run of 1.6. It was doing a view, like 1,000 views a minute. We were looking at earlier. It's unbelievable. And it's Jim carrying his grandson Jimmy in a bucket. Because he was on top, and it kind of was a video that how it transpired is he was on his shoulders, they were working, and his feet were bare, and he was, complaining, little kid stuff, Put him up on his shoulders, and he's like, oh, he's on my shoulders, so now it's time to hit Papa, it's time to, beat down on Papa. And he's like, look, dude, I'm trying to walk off this hill, get in the bucket. So he puts him in the bucket, which was kind of fun for him. Little kid's like, I get in the bucket? Yeah, stand in the bucket. He stands it, and he's holding him, and he's walking him off. And, Jim's a big, stout guy. And he walks off holding this little, stout little kid in the bucket, holding it like it's, like it's empty. And he walks off, and it's like a 20-second video. It's blown up. It's unbelievable how well it's done. Unbelievable. So, oh yeah. So I started following him on Facebook. Our silver lab would love those. Yeah. So Jim has 2 labs. They have, their daughter has one, they have one, but they all live at the same place. They have they have multiple homes on the farm. And so, his boy Gus, big lab, chews them up. We sell those on the weekends with him. We go up to the farmer's market every Saturday, and it's just kind of a fun day for Tori and I to go up there. We get up in the morning. We don't get there when they open. We get there about a half hour after they get everything set up. And then we sell stuff with them, and then we help them break it down real quick, and then we all go to like a late lunch. And it's something we've been doing since the farmer's market started. We've missed a couple days. We're out of town, but it's just our little thing we do with them. And, we're not going up there for any other reason other than just to visit and to help and just to be there and to support them and all that good stuff. They really don't need our help. Their product speaks for itself. Not that we would help anyways, but and Tori loves selling and stuff like that. It's a product she believes in. It's a product she uses. It's simple. It's not like convincing people to whatever. It's like, here's a dog chew. It's got beef in it only. It has a little hair on it to clean all the stuff up, and your dog will love it. Here you go. Works great. And their chews or their treats are good too. Again, 1 ingredient: liver, heart, lung, spleen. And then they sell the trachea tubes also that are all dehydrated down. There's no salt added. There's no ingredients. So it's really, really simple to sell. It doesn't have comebacks with it. It doesn't have a bunch of issues. It is what it is. You don't have to be overeducated in it. You're not competing against anybody. It's just a very pleasurable day for us. And I know they like the company, you know, it's because they're working, you know, they're at the end of the day, you're setting a booth up and, you know, it's your livelihood. It works good. We enjoy it. And then we bring a couple chews home for the dogs. So that's all good. And they, you know, they love them. And you can take it away from the dog if you want. Put it in the freezer. Tori just puts them aside. She doesn't even put them in the freezer, but um, it gives them sessions of chewing. It doesn't make a mess. They don't stink. There's just a lot of advantages to them. And so, yeah, I'm glad you're following them. I'm gonna let them know you're one of their followers. They'll appreciate that, and they will say thank you, no doubt. Jim's put a neat little ranch together. I thought all ranchers were the same and did the same stuff, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of them don't. A little surprising to me. His care, and I think maybe his care is the norm, but it's not. They'll say it's the norm, but it's not. He definitely does it a whole different step. When he cares for the animals, he really actually cares for the animals. I've heard him say it. What's best for the animal? What's best for the animal? How are we going to do this? What's best for the animal? What's the best scenario for this animal? And when you use that kind of terminology, you know, I notice these farmers and ranchers, they don't treat their animals and their pets like we do as regular residential type people like we are. You know, I mean, we have a little small farm here, but we're residential for the most part. You know, we're surrounded by thousands of acres of farmland, and you know, we got lots of distance between our neighbors, but we do have a couple little things, but we're residential type, you know, dogs in the house, that kind of stuff. And you know, we're not making a living off our farm at all. There's no income. In fact, we call it the useless farm. All it does is cost us money. But that's how he treats. You know, when you have people that treat their pets like their children, that's how Jim treats all 100 of his cows. Well, I think it was up to 200 at times, but he has lots. Whatever it is, it's lots. And it's a big piece of property. It's not small. That's an interesting subject. Also, is when we say small, he's considered a small farm because big farms are thousands or tens of thousands of acres. That's what a big farm is, or a big ranch. When you're in the hundred, when you're in the 3-digit category, um, you're small. I'm in the 1-digit category. I'm like not a ranch, not a farm. You know, I cut hay and have livestock doesn't mean I'm a ranch. I didn't know that. Things we learn over the years. Yeah, this thing is like night and day better. It is. These pipes are definitely another level. So, Rob, what other ideas you have for the Jeep behind me? I mean, besides the paddle tires. I am going to get working on those bumpers. I might do that this week for the hood bumpers. I did get the stocks. I bought them off eBay, but they weren't cheap by no means. They were $30 each. So, and I'll just cut them on my chop saw and cut through them real slow so they don't splinter up, and then get them lined up. I'm gonna cut one a little long first to make sure the blade's cut good on it. And then hopefully I can use the same holes that are in the bottom of the hood, which I think I should be able to. Mark it from underneath. And then I don't know how they have it bolted up, actually. So I notice there's bolt heads in there, but I don't know what's going into the wood. I don't know if he put in some kind of a threads or something or what it is, but when I get it off, I will definitely know, if it has some kind of insert in there. That's probably the way I'll do it. I'll probably drill it, put some long nuts in there. I forget what they call those things. Castle nuts, not castle, but what do they call those nuts? They're longer. So I'll tap them in there, put a little epoxy with them, and then I'll just tighten them down. That's how I do shifters, pool ball shifters. The wood would be easier, and what you do is you just take some of the edges off it, so it has a little gap, but it's almost a great insert. It has just a little area for the epoxy to hold in, and it's still firm in the wood. You just drill it, interference drill it where it's the exact same size. And just tap them in, and it ain't ever coming out. And then you just bolt them in from underneath. I think that's where I'll do it. I think it'll be a neat little video. I think it'll be entertaining. I think that it's so nostalgic and so neat. I've actually done some research the last couple of weeks. I've been putting in every which way you could put it in on YouTube, trying to find somebody else that had them on a video. And I can't find it. Nobody's done that. And I've never ever seen it before. And it just seems so like everybody should do it. Because the old wood blocks and the old little rubber bumpers are kind of ugly. I think the gun butt stocks give it that hunting feel, that Jeep feel. And if it was a military one, I'd do a couple AR, fully black ones with just the thinner pad on it, kind of like what I got sitting on the wall there. Not the pellet gun, but I think that would be a neat look on a military Jeep, have that military type stuff. Maybe like a camouflage one or something, be kind of cool. Yeah, so I am enjoying this pipe out here. It's super cool out today. I didn't say super cool. It's super nice out today. It's pleasant. I'm sure it's probably hot in the sun. And I don't think we ever met the goal yet. Let's see here. No. We got 1:14 left to meet that goal. So if anybody's chiming in on this live, go look at the goal. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I thought for sure that we would catch people from other countries. That was the goal of this, because I have so much interaction with other countries. But maybe they don't even look at YouTube until later in the evening for American stuff, because maybe they don't ever catch this stuff, would be my idea. And it could be that it's a Sunday. Could be a Sunday thing, I guess. Well, let's see where we're at. Let's see where we go. We got 16 seconds left. Looks like I'm going to escape from day drinking. 3, 2, 1. No day drinking today. So that's where we're at with that. I think since this pipe is about halfway done, I got things to do. I think adding a roll bar, let's see here. I think the widest tires you can fit on those look awesome. I do, and I'll probably put, I could probably put the 1-inch spacers in them because they bolt to the hub and then they bolt out. And I'm not going crazy with it, so I think they would work just fine. Get those tires out a little bit more. Wow, that was quite the chicken. I think adding the roll bar would look good too. Yeah, it would look good. It's definitely different with it down. You just have the one single bar, and where it would work good if I add the front bar to it would be for a bikini top on it. This way now it has hooked to the windshield and then down. And I'll be honest with you, I like the windshield down on these things 90% of the time. So there's no way to run a top on it, a soft top, without the windshield down. I mean, they make some funky bracket, I guess, but if I had the two bars coming up and the finished hoop up front, for one, it would be a lot safer if you put it upside down. It would also save from smashing the Jeep totally. And two, it would work great with the bikini top on it with a little, And I remember they used to do them. Remember they used to do, Rob? They used to do them with the eye bolts or the eye loop, what do they call those? Eyelets, and they used to wrap the rope, and put them up there. That was a popular way. And a lot of guys used to put the little snaps and snap them up there. So I could do it either way, kind of like a tonneau cover would be done. So yeah, that's a good idea. I probably should do that. Again, that's a very inexpensive ad. Really adds to the full cage is always better. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Way more rigid. If this thing was to go on, and they're so narrow and small. If it was to go on its lid, I sure would like a cage in it. Because you figure that hood's going to smash. If you go upside down, it's going to smash all the way to that front bar. You're going to be hitting the dirt. It may not crush you, but it'll smack you. If you go upside down and you got a cage in it, you're looking a lot better. And if you get in a front end accident, the cage will hold the rigidity of the body. If you have a belt in it, it's better all the way around. There's no doubt about that. And it's a small tube. It's not a 3-inch bar, so it doesn't take up a bunch of room there on the floor. Yeah, I think that would be a good ad. A real good ad. But I do like the look like you're talking about. You don't see a lot of them with the big wide tires on it. So the 31 1050, I don't think they make a 31 1150. I mean, I can put the 33 1250s, but I don't know that I have enough room without lifting it. And I don't really want to lift it. A couple reasons. I don't want to have to climb in it. That's probably the number one reason. With the bad wheel, with the bad leg, real difficult to get in it. I have difficulty in it now, getting in it. Not difficulty, but it is a little chore. Yep, I remember that. And the snaps. Add the bar angled down to the back on each side and some padding. Yep, that's true. Yeah, that's how they were. That's how they became, like in the in the 70s, they really went to that look. This Jeep was done in, my dad said 61-ish, but I noticed the plate had 63 stamped on it. But, he may have had a different plate on it until he re-registered it or something. I don't know. But it's right in that era. 61, 2 or 3, I don't know. My dad said he was just out of high school and he graduated in 61. So could have been 63. Yep, they used to put the padding on them. And it was like electrical tape they used to wrap them up. It definitely had that look. And then they used to make those Velcro ones that went over like the bars on our BMX bikes. Yeah, all that's good. It's good stuff. Now I come up with an idea on the seat. My idea with the seat is a third row Cadillac seat, leather black. They made them. They have 3 harness or shoulder belts, and they're not humped up on the shoulder. They're flat in there. It measures real low and real thin, but it's the right width. It goes on each side of the tub. It would fit, and it would move all the way to the back of the wheel well and still give you enough distance now from it, and it would look good. And they don't tilt. So when you built the bracket, I would have to, because they have the big long brackets you have to take off, but the seat part of it, you would just have to do it like a body lift raise on the front of it to get the right tilt on it. It would just take a little bit of practice to throw a couple pieces of metal underneath there, little blocks of wood to figure out the right angle, the right tilt on it from front to back. And with virtually bolt in, already have seat belts on it. Bolted to the floor where you don't fly out, big washers and all that, or you can even weld the bar over to the frame if you wanted to. So I think I'm really going to do that. I love this old Cadillac seat that's in it, but it's just so big and bulky and makes the pedals difficult and hard to get into. And when you get into it and sit in it, it's comfortable, but the steering wheel's on your legs, and it's a lot. It's got a lot, and with the 3 harnesses in it, it would, shoulder belts would really be cool, especially the grandkids, And then Tori and I can sit in it, put the shoulder belt on it. One grandkid sitting between us, putting the shoulder belt over, or even if an adult wanted to go and, sit in it, it would have enough room for it. And it would still be a Cadillac seat, so it still goes along with the same idea as what Uncle Bob had in it. And then I can just take this seat, maybe reupholster it and build it like a little couch in here in the Jimmy James garage. So I would still have that, going on. That's something I'm thinking about. I think that would be good. I am a little bummed. I'm not bummed because I said I'd do it, and I mean it. But I really wanted to go to the Jeep next. And now I'm not going to use the word stuck, but now I'm obligated to do the truck first. And I think it's for a good cause. I think it's a good reason. I want to do it. It's one of those love-hate deals, I don't want to pass up doing it and it's not the money part of it because I'm not going to really charge him much on it. But I just think it's the right thing to do. He's a young kid. He's going to have this memory, down the road. It will, it's a win-win all the way around. It's something I kind of preach, something to kind of live about, talk about. But my Jeep's got to take a step back. It is what it is. So the Jeep will be here, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, I see in the background how thick those seat bottoms are. Yeah, they are really thick. It is thick, and it's laying on the gas tank. So that gas tank on that Jeep, I haven't had it apart yet, but it goes from the whole tub from side to side. So somebody cut out the toolbox, Uncle Bill did, cut out the toolbox on the side, and that hole under the seat is all gas tank. And there's the original bracket for the seat that bolts to the side of the body, and then the bracket goes all the way across it. So that bracket's still there, and they just bolted. They took the old brackets off this thing. I kind of peeked underneath it, and they just bolted that seat to the old brackets, and it leans back the right way. And you sit in that seat, it's comfortable. There's no doubt about it. It's puffy and it's plush, but being that it's deep seating, so from the back of your butt all the way to the front of your legs, it's like 26 inches. It's long. Put your feet right up against those pedals, and it's so thick, you're right up against the steering wheel. So it's just big on the bottom, and it's big on the back. I mean, the back's all puffy and hitting it's just a lot. But if you're just going to sit in it, it's hard to beat. It's comfortable. It is a nice seat, and it's got a rip in the seat, so I'd have to reupholster it anyway. So I got to do something with it. So. I was looking at Coach's Blazer here. He has those, square body buckets in this Blazer. It's a 91, and it's got the thinner bucket seats in it. And boy, they're a lot smaller than that Cadillac seat. There's no doubt about it. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. We got some of the ideas worked out on the Jeep. I didn't get anybody from a foreign country. That's about it. I see 3 of you watching, and I know which 3 that is. So we tried, we came, we saw. Now you know. So I do have work I got to get done here. I got chickens in the shop. They're going to get yelled at. I got to yell at them off camera because I don't want the PETA people being mad at me. But yeah, I'll just scurry them out. And I think that's it. Thanks again, Rob. You know how I appreciate you coming on, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope the tremors are chilling out a little bit. And, yeah, I'm glad your father-in-law worked out good. I'm glad there's no. Glad at the end it worked out, and I think that's it. So we'll see you later. Peace out. Have a nice one. And I got to get up, turn it off. So keep watching, because now you know. Now you know. Look at these chickens. Look at these crazy things. They're wild. Before I sign off, Rob, I'll show you this stuff really fast since I got it in my hand. I'll put that down so I don't drop that. So these are the 1050s, or they're 10s. They're called 10Rs. 10R15LT Wranglers. But the wheels are in really good shape. And that's just some surface stuff. It'll just clean up as soon as I wash it. But they do come really close to the spring when I turn them on. And then, this thing is just, this winch is very barbaric. Very old. But what we're talking about is this bar here would be kind of cool with the thinner channel. I don't know what, that looks like about 8 inches, whatever a license plate is. You can see on there, that plate says 63 on it. But these lights work. And who knows what those lights are. It says 2001, and I guarantee they ain't 2001. Perlux lights. So yeah, those got to come off. I don't know what the screen was on there. That's got to stay just because it's vintage. I'm going to change the bolts on it. I'm going to put a carriage bolt on it. And then, here's these. These are worn out. You can see how good the paint did turn out when I buffed it. But yeah, here's the seat. So the seat is good, except for it has a, this is just coming apart. But it's an original. And these are the gun stocks. So those will go like so. In that place, they're about the same size. So that'll look nice. It'll be all cleaned up there. But like we were talking earlier, the top would have to come into here. But this thing will clean right up good. But the top goes underneath here and then over for the roll bar. So you can see how this original piece, and they just bolted it to it, and how, it's thick. And then look how from here, that's the back of a gun. It is a long ways. It's really deep seated. So when you come up here to the pedals, there's not a lot of room there. And then look at the seat, to try to get I'm trying to watch the camera at the same time here, but look at that. You can't even get your hand underneath the wheel. So yeah, of course, it's a Jeep thing. And then, with that bar, if I did bring 2 more bars up and then a loop down and then maybe one, but I might just leave this one. That might be just a little overkill. It might look kind of cool with the bar and then down with those bars. A little different. And like you said, if I space those wheels out a little bit and bring them out and put a little bigger tire on it, the 3110 50s would definitely be bigger. And then I put a stop so it doesn't hit the springs on the inside. And somebody's redid the springs because it has regular shackles on it, I noticed. I don't know what kind of spring that is, but it looks different than a Jeep spring from what I remember. And you can see where the juice poured out on the ground from when I pushed the clutch. So obviously that's got a hose leaking. The other thing is the debate is what to do with the seat. I'm thinking about just bringing this seat forward. So the back of it is right here inside, and then taking the spare tire off and putting it underneath it. And then leaving the Barden bumper and then just cutting that out and repainting it. I am going to put a new antenna on it. So the antenna was there forever, so I'm going to put one on there. Maybe put an American flag or something on it, I don't know. But it has a little trailer hitch and stuff, and it says Willys underneath it, and the tailgate, I'd like to be able to see that. But then the plate, 89 is the last time it was registered. But I think if this seat was moved, because they used to use these things that kind of turn and go in there, and those parts are here. Just move it up. I think it would be probably better off that way, especially with the kids in it running around. And then I'll just put the original toolbox he had here. So it's kind of funny. He's got some old junky tools in it, just some scrap tools. And he had a big nice, well, it says 40 something. Huh. He just had regular old stuff he picked up. He's got Snap-on tools, and you come in here, and I love this, the old hammer. That ain't coming out, it's all stuck in there. But it's got, oh, there you go. You never know when you need to hammer something. Who knows? Got a trailer hitch ball. I don't know what the ball's doing in there because they don't have a trailer hitch, but yeah, it has a, that's handy in case you need that. That's fun stuff. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Who knows? Oh, there's a Craftsman, huh? Now we're moving up in the world. A 15/16 by 1 inch. All right, so that's kind of cool stuff. And then it had a divider in here, and it looks like it had a little footstep. I don't know what that was for, but the divider was in there. But you can see it don't have no rust in it. It don't have any rotten floors or none of that. So just dirty. Just dirty. And then, of course, Chicken's made its home here. I don't know why it's decided to do that, but it has. Then we got the Blazer and the nice blue skies today. Nice and cool. And then I got to take that trailer and go get some hay. Hay. But there we go. So let me see if we have any more comments here before we go. Live chat. There we go. So, yep, you too, Jimmy and Tori. Yep. Mickey Thompson makes some 15-1250s that run wide and, oh, come on. Actually around 32 inches, at least they used to. Yeah, that's tight fit. It's going to be a tight fit. So I don't know really how much I can get in it, but I think if I space it out an inch and then see if I can get an 1150 on there. See if anybody makes that 31 1150. It would be cool because 31 is a little taller than what's there right now. So that would be the ultimate plan. All right, well, everybody have a good one. We will talk to you later. See you on down the road. Now you know.